Uh, Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to the Vylkscast. I will be officially beginning the first episode of the Vylkscast. So right now, Neoski can't join the stream, sadly, but I brought something to celebrate the arrival of the Vylkscast in with Coca-Cola, if you can see. Usually during the evening, coffee helps me go back to sleep. But the idea is that I would finish the coffee, and then I would have the Lo come in. And after the stream, I could go to bed. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my live stream, about the Vylkscast, and just bring you an introduction to a sort of schedule that I'm adopting for today, for tomorrow, for essentially, until I stop. This fall, we're going to have a change, so I plan it to last until around this fall. This fall, there's going to be a reform of the of the live stream. And so, Vylkscast, well, here's my plan. So the idea is that we would introduce, on Mondays and Wednesdays, Monday night and Wednesday night, I will have a casual stream. Meaning I can do whatever you want to, we can just talk and hang out for a bit. And I can say what I think, you can say what you think. It's just going to be like a party. It's a hangout. This live stream is not that. Tuesdays and Thursdays we have a Vylkscast, and the Vylkscast is an almost entirely political discussion. Well, not political, but the idea is the format of the Vylkscast goes like this: you ask a question, I bring an answer. Hang on. Format is like this. It's buffering. God damn archons. Khalkha Mongol says based. Sweet. Okay. But that's the idea. You ask a question, I bring an answer. And you can start now. You can start whenever you want. What I will talk about generally is politics and stuff like that. I want to keep this Vylkscast, somewhat of a decent live stream. I am considering having a poll in the Vylkscast, but the poll will be later in the Vylkscast. Because tomorrow, if everything goes as planned, if and only if everything goes as planned, it has the chance of not going as, everything is planning. Well, wait. it has the chance of going, not as planned. But if it goes as planned, if my live stream goes as planned, tomorrow will be a game night. We will be playing one of two video games, and it's going to be our decision. I will have a poll in the comments. Hang on. I will be back. Hello? Hi, Dad. I know. Hi. Hi, I am back. Am I studying linguistics? Game night on Friday. Well, am I studying linguistics? Yeah. Friday is game night, meaning we live stream a video game, and my idea is that it could be my idea is that the game could either be Suzerain. Whoa. It's late. The game could either be Suzerain, or it could be a different game which is called The Life and Suffering of Sir Brant. If it's Suzerain, we will be the president of a country in the 1950s, 60s, but in a fictional world. I personally would have put the game in a real world backdrop, but it ain't my decision. I believe that the game is incredibly liberally biased, but I will be doing the decision that the live stream wants me to do. I'm definitely considering, it's going to be a discussion on Friday. Could be that, or a game called The Life and Suffering of Sir Brant. If you want me to play Hearts of Iron 4, okay. If you want me to play Skyrim, okay. I will. I can very much play Skyrim during my live stream. But tonight is a night for questions and answers. And keep in mind, I'm not trying to make this as a rigid schedule. The live stream consists of 100% me. Mwahaha. I control the game now. Yeah, we're doing that tomorrow, though. If everything goes as planned. Saturday and Sunday, do not expect a live stream then. I may have a live stream, and if it is, could be either. It could be either 3. I'm guessing either a more casual one or something like that. I ain't making an official episode of Vylkscast. Anyways, format of Vylkscast is you ask me questions, I give answers. That's how it's going to be. Ask me a question, I give an answer. So say, you can start it. Yeah. Oh. So, do you have any questions? I'll give an answer. Am I studying linguistics? No, sadly, I am not studying linguistics. Sad, right? Yeah, pretty sad, but I'll probably be studying linguistics later on. Hang on. Thoughts on Sir John Wolcott? Sir John Wolcott, or Sir John Walcott, Sir John Walcott was an English knight. He beat a king in chess. That's pretty much his greatest accomplishments. People are abandoning me. Well, it's okay. Nioski is going to come soon, hopefully. Yeah, thoughts on Nioski. Nioski's a badass. That's my thoughts on Nioski. Nailed out to you. Nioski is a total badass. He's a good man and a badass friend. That's my thoughts on Nioski. I will be live streaming. Thoughts on badassness? Well, badassness is badass. But generally I talk about politics and stuff like that. Hang on. I'm bringing all of my Catholic friends. Hang on. Yeah. Thoughts on Christian Warrior 666 / Muslim Warrior 777. Absolutely hilarious people. I've met the pastor of them, and they're just total badasses. Muslim Warrior is most badass, yeah. He's hilarious. They're both hilarious. Thing is, his actual name is Lao Ping, and he worked for the Chinese government. I'm now here by Tengrist Warrior 999. Yeah. Are you Muslim or Tengri? I myself am not of any religion as of now, although that can change. I'm open to change. Maybe I might find a good religion. Maybe. I'm Ironic Warrior 699. Muslim, I ain't Muslim. I think you once said you were Muslim. I don't know. We can live stream. Here's a question. Should we keep this a Vylkscast, or should we make this our first episode of Suzerain? I really want to get more people to join. I really do. I really hope people can join. I really hope people can join. Please, people, join. Should we... I will stay here till the end, brother. Yeah. Let's do it. so far, with Susan, I'm going to make a logo for Susan as of now, just to prevent it from being, you know. I'm trying to find perfect. I will live stream. Well, I will do Susan tomorrow. Roblox Soviet State Media. I have returned. Yes. Long story for my departure. But I am back. Who are you? Also known as Meme God. Ah, hello. Sweet. And badass. Kazan Khanet. They were badass. So, this is a Vylkscast, basically a Woolcast, but with a new name and completely rebranded. This Vylkscast I will live stream by tomorrow. You know, my plan next. You know, my personal plan is that I have a question for you. Perfect. What is your question? Would you consider Russia the most direct descendant of the Mongol Empire, or would it be China? I can explain further. Okay, please do. I would say that Mongolia is the most direct descendant of the Mongol Empire. Modern day Mongolia. But, yes, please. But maybe he's asking if Russia or China is more of a direct descendant. And I would say neither. I would say best people, they would be the Tatars. It would be modern day Turkey, the Tatars and all that. Other than Mongolia, obviously. Of course, it's after Mongolia. The only country to take Siberia is the Muscovites, which evolved into Russia. I would say, other than that, other than Genghis Khan's Mongol Empire, I would say maybe China, maybe, maybe. Although, guess what? Hang on. Okay. Of course, Kazakhstan or Kyrgyzstan. Turkmenistan was still, I guess, Turkmenistan. Good point. Here, I am. I guess Turkmenistan. Would be the last nation. Here, let me hear that, Roblox. Let me hear you, Scar, in the soul. I must say, ready? There is no third Rome. Not even the Ottoman Empire. Later, Turkey could be the third Rome. Yes! You did not scar me in the soul. You actually... I completely agree with you, Roblox. Fuck Russia. We... we are third Rome. Yeah, fuck Russia. Тихая ночь. I love how most Russians don't care if they'd get Soviet Union or Russian Empire back. They'd be good either way. Yeah. Fuck Russia. The Russians tried to call themselves, oh, we're the third Rome. Wow. Mm-mm. Yeah, if it had been the U.S., they wouldn't have fallen. I actually disagree. I think that what would have happened would be there would have been a civil war in the Soviet Union. That's what I think would have happened. Not... Yeah... To me, I think for a state to leave, what I would do here's a question. Okay. This live stream is getting fairly inactive. Here's a question. We either play Susan or Sir Brandt tomorrow? Yes? Is that good? But yeah, I would agree that if there was a civil war in the country with the strongest armed forces on earth, with indoctrinated people, it wouldn't turn out good, mostly just cause instability. I disagree. I think that there would have been a huge civil war, because what about factions in the army that weren't loyal to the Communist Party? What about people holding secret resentments? What about NATO invading the Soviet Union? I think, what about NATO? I think that would have been the death blow to the Soviet Union, and Russia would have turned out like Serbia, which I think is a good thing. I think that Russia should have turned out like Serbia. I think that what would have happened would be NATO would intervene, United States, NATO would have intervened, China. If they supported the Soviet Union, it would be Cold War 2.0. Because the Russians would have been a puppet of the Chinese. And I think, the Americans and the Russians would be in a civil war with each other. Maybe like Romania in 1989. What would have happened would be NATO would have intervened, and then China would awake. We do not want China to awaken, and so it would have been World War III. But if you've seen Tiananmen Square, forget about nukes, am I right? I think that if you've seen Tiananmen Square, it would have been nuclear exchange. The Soviet Union, if there was a civil war in the Soviet Union, there would have been nukes, and that would have caused the collapse of civilization. Honestly, I think that the biggest tragedy was the invention of the nuclear bomb. I think it was. Because, say, if we take away nukes, I think what would have happened would be World War III would have been in the 90s. We would win it. We would have won. We would have won the Civil War. No problem. The United States and NATO would win. Russia and China. No, I'm talking about without nukes. Because I think that we would win. Because if you've seen what happened in Tiananmen Square, if you've seen Tibet, it would have been in the 40s. USSR would have just kept pushing. But at the same time, enough of the Soviet Union, they were tired of communism, they were tired of their ways. There would have been a split between Gorbachev and all that. I think that what would have happened in World War III would be the Russians and Chinese would have lost the Civil War. Russia would be forced to acknowledge the independence of the SSRs, possibly acknowledge a Caucasian republic, maybe a Siberian republic. China would also be balkanized as a nation. I think a democratic regime would have been set up in China, so Taiwan, so Russian Federation. I think that the Soviet Union and People's Republic of China would be broken, and they would be lost third world countries, humiliated once again by the West. And it would cause possibly a fourth world war could begin within the 2010s with the Muslims. Large amounts of Soviets and Chinese, Russians and Chinese converted to Islam. And it would be like the Crusades of old. And we would fight that war on Islam. We would win. And then there would come the coronavirus pandemic. That's a possibility. Another possibility would be that if the United States occupation proves fruitful and Russia and China would end up how Japan. Chinese always had Muslims, I know that. But I'm saying Islam would be a source of a final rebellion against the West. Okay. True. Maybe Chinese that hate Muslims would side with the Republic. All I know is that I'm thankful that this is a possibility we're talking about right now, and not a reality. I do think that Russia and China. Dude, what type of nonsense are you spouting? What do you mean? What do you mean? Debunk me. Go ahead. If the Kuomintang... Oh, Roblox. Yeah. Yeah, Chinese had Muslims. China had Muslims, I believe. But it would have been... the World War III, it would have been a U.S. victory, but it would just extensiate the problems. We would have been the sole winners in a sad, sad world. Again, in the center west of China, there's a huge Muslim population. Yeah, true, I believe. I know. China suppressed religion. Yeah, I think that what would have eventually happened would be in the modern Middle East. It's a sad situation that we're talking about, one that I'm glad is not going on today. Chinese always had Muslim. Well, not always. China was there before Islam, but there are Muslims in China. Anyways, yeah, that was kind of a stupid statement, but I see that. Anyways, it's a sad scenario that we're talking about, and from at least until Islam, yeah, I would say that what would have happened would be chaos. It would have been death. It would have been misery. It would have been destruction for the whole world at World War III. I'm glad that that's not a reality. I'd say that in the end, though, it would have a happy ending. Russia and China would end up like Russia. Well, it was always an Asian, my friend. Kinda, sorta. I would consider the Middle East to be its own cultural group. Anyways. Middle East is the middle of the East. Anyways, I would continue with what I was saying. I think that the United States would have... I think that what would have happened would be China would have been broken. Politically, culturally. Economically. Russia would end up like how Serbia ended up, and China would have ended up how Japan would have ended up. Which means Russia would be a broken nation who's culturally lost, forced to surrender territory and all that. Japan would have been China would have been an economic powerhouse. But chaotic. China and Japan, China would have ended up like Japan. I could possibly see a war in the 2030s between Chinese government and Japan. If Japan is ever, I would still say that nationalism would have risen in Europe. Either that or Europe would have been a lot more peaceful. But yeah, China would have ended up like Japan. Russia would have ended up like Serbia. Maybe like Germany. Maybe. I know that the Russian government would be forced to apologize. It would be kind of like a Bosnian civil war. Could be the Republika Srpska or Herz, could be a type of event. I don't think that Putin would have arisen in this scenario. Putin would have been one of the leaders of the Russians after Gorbachev, and Putin would have smirt. Same thing with Xi Jinping. He could be the leader of a miniature communist party within China, but I don't think he would be the president. I think that China and Russia, they would have been broken down. China, there would be Tibet and Uyghur and a Manchurian state with Inner Mongolia. They would have still been an economic powerhouse, though, just like Japan. They would be big Japan, but on a larger scale. Russia would have ended up like Serbia on a larger scale. It would have been a neoliberal dictatorship, possibly under the likes of people like Yeltsin. It could possibly be split into multiple countries, which I think would be the ideal outcome. That would be China and Japan. That would have been what would have happened to Japan. Well, what would have happened to China. I could possibly see maybe the rise in nationalism within Europe. Coexisting, because I think the same things that led to the Arab Spring would have happened. The democracies, of course, we would have fought for the democracies. There would have been the civil wars. Europe would be faced with a refugee crisis, and Europe's pull towards nationalism, I think, would be a lot greater. because we just fought a war against communism. They would want the West back into a powerful position. They could possibly say, the American government could possibly say, no, I don't think that Trump would have won because it would have been a civil split within America. Japan could possibly be remilitarized in order to be a good asset for America. I think they would have remilitarized in the 1990s during World War III, because simply it's World War fucking III. They need to play their part too. And so, yeah, of course, Japan would have remilitarized, and we would see Japan as a powerful nation. We could possibly see a war between Japan and China, and in the 2020s or 2030s, with China demanding the Japanese to give up their empire and give up their military once again. I think that the United States could collaborate with China in this matter. And the Japanese empire would have, and whatever remilitarized state of Japan would perish. Possibly we could see Russians supporting the Japanese, defending their territory and their right. They would have just been crushed by the might of the United States. My thing with Korea, what side would Korea join? Well, Japan, I guess they would be. But Japan would die in, say, the 2010s or 2020s, 2030s. They would just... within Europe, we could see the nationalist parties taking power once again and possibly siding with Japan in this war. If that's the case, I still think they would have lost. Well, Japan would have lost, but I think that Europe would have remained alive. They could either diselect the anti-Western front, well, the anti-American front in liberal springs that would have occurred, or something like that. Oh yeah, and if China possibly has the chance to influence a lot of Russia with immigrants. They already do in our life. So of course China could. Nationalism is very badass. I agree. I would say that the ultimate end to this world would be either a world where the West is completely won and stoned all of nationalism, or the nationalists have won and caused a multipolar world once again. Could I see the European Union reunite again as a nationalist organization? Yes, I can. Take a look at what Mosley said about Europe a nation. And I think that the European Empire would be powerful. Another change is that this could bring civil war within South Africa. This could bring civil war within South Africa as well, between the Boers, the economy, and the government. course, the Boers would fight. It could be a proxy war. The nationalist Europeans supporting the Boers, supporting possibly a Rhodesian resurgent front, and the Americans supporting the blacks. I wouldn't see Black Lives Matter get as big and as powerful as they did in our timeline because, of course, we'd be fighting for black people in South Africa. You know, we would be fighting wars for the emancipation of African Americans. So, if Black Lives Matter does arise in this timeline the same way it has in ours, well, we're doomed. The United States side would immediately lose the Cold War because they would have to draw out of foreign affairs. Would I see Quebec? Anyways, that's my possible alternate history scenario for you. I am possibly considering creating some sort of setting. What if Germany won World War One, or something like that? I don't even know. Also, yeah. Yeah, man, I'm tired. Thanks to this. That was the idea. So that when I finish live streaming, I could sleep tonight, maybe. I have the chance to. Giving me a small headache, though. Should stop drinking it. Was the caramel coffee Coke. Next time I'll get the vanilla. See if that's different. Oh, I thought it was Coke. Yeah, it was Coke. It's coffee flavored Coke. The idea is that it's so much caffeine I'd get a low after the stream and just want to go to bed because I'm planning on waking up early tomorrow. Yeah, nationalism is very based. Yeah, Coke is already coffee. Oh, I agree. Coke helped keep me caffeinated and up and moving. It's coffee flavored Coke, though. So the idea is that it would be double the caffeine. And hey, it worked perfectly. Do you have any other questions? It's not done. I can still drink more. The idea is that it would give me an immediate energy boost and then just... tea is much better. You should try it. Oh, I love tea. I just thought I could get an interesting drink. Yeah. Coke is already coffee, mate. So much. Tea is much better. You should try it. I do love tea. I have tea. I enjoy it. I just thought I could try something else. You know, I went to the store. After I ended voice chatting with you, I went to a sort of gas station. I got the coffee Coke. And the coffee Coke, I recommend you try it, but what you should do is you should share it with a friend. Because there's no way someone can drink the entire thing. Of course, it was my plan though, so I could go to bed. The idea is that I might be up, but I'll be tired as Trump and decide to go to bed earlier because I'm waking up earlier tomorrow. I'm still probably going to be voice chatting and all that after, but just giving me a suitable amount of low energy. Do you have any other questions? Because I want to bring Nioski into the live stream. To be honest, you should go to sleep. Okay. Well, I guess then you seem very tired. Well, thanks to this, I am. The idea is that it would give me an immediate burst of caffeine, so I would be able to live stream. And then once I'm done with it, I can go to bed. I'm finishing it though. There's still some left. By the way, it looks pretty beautiful it looks nice when you put it into a cup. But if you have any other questions, I guess I will do that. Despite have an amazing night. Yes, Vachros, I will enjoy an amazing night. I had coffee flavored Coke, and the idea about buying it is so that it's coffee flavored Coke. The idea of buying it is so that I could go to bed later. Well, not later, a little early, and so I could wake up early next morning. Do I like it? I love coffee flavored Coke. I love it. It's very delicious. What it does is it gives you an immediate burst of caffeine, and then after it's done, you can rest easy. Hey, I don't think it works like that. I know that. I know. But I've tried it before. I have something that will help you very much with your sleep. I don't have insomnia or anything like that. I just thought it would be a cool idea. First of all, I was thinking you should save the other half for the morning. Too late now. Too late now. The idea, of course, of buying it is that it's so much caffeine I would have a low. Yeah. Too late now. Yeah, watch this while trying to sleep. Okay, yeah. I don't have insomnia. I don't. It's not like I have a problem with sleep. I don't have sleeping troubles or anything like that. I just thought it would be a cool idea. I bought the coffee Coke. I opened it as soon as the live stream began. I recommend that you pour it into a mug because it looks pretty beautiful when you pour it in. The way the Coke froth goes, it's cool. I heard that they have a lot of that in Japan, and as a fan of Asian and Japanese culture, not a weeaboo. I don't watch anime. I don't like anime, but I do eat with chopsticks. But yeah, the idea is that for me, stuff like that actually makes me. The idea is that if I have so much caffeine from the coffee flavored Coke, I would feel tired and want to go to bed and want to go to sleep. And the idea is that once it's done, once I finish it, I will end the live stream, maybe voice chat or something like that. Probably not, and just, that's how caffeine works for me, usually. Coke itself wakes me up. Coffee itself wakes me up. But this coffee-flavored Coke gives you a burst of energy, and then you have the low. And when you have the low, you have the low forever. Well, not forever, just for a long time. If you have any other ideas, if you have any questions, if you have anything to say, that's fine. Understandable. Come Friday, I will live stream. And I will live stream either a game of Susan. You have the low forever, guys. No, not like that. But the idea is that come tomorrow, I will live stream. I will show you pictures of the steak that I cooked, and in fact, I can give you a recipe for steak right now. Steak, here's how you make it. My dad and I, William Wolcott and I, perfect recipe for steak. Perfect. Here's how you do it. So first of all, you salt both sides with kosher salt. Well, before you do that, you pat both sides with a paper towel. Then you salt both sides with kosher salt. And then pat it with a paper towel again. And so then, after that, what you do, you put the steak in the microwave. You don't microwave the steak, but just like in a cold, dry, well, not cold, just in a dry cupboard for the steak to elevate to room temperature. After the steak is at room temperature, what you do is you put the steak in the oven. Put the steak in the oven. When it's in the oven, when the steak is in the oven, you put it for like 5 minutes, like 270. So pretty low temperature. Yeah, keep in mind I'm very passionate about steak, I will tell you that. But you put it at low temperature. And you let it cook for around 5 to 10 minutes. So then what you do, I guess 6 minutes would be a proper time as well. Then what you do is you... Crispy Fritz says, Salam, you are a little late. Yo, I love steak. Yes, I am. I'm giving the perfect steak recipe. I will give it to Crispy Fritz once it's done. I will comment the steak recipe. It's a perfect recipe for steak. So I'll start over again, and I'll say that 1:08:30, 1:08:40, 50 would be the perfect time for steak. So here's what you do. Here's how you make a good steak. 1, you take the steak, you pat both sides dry with a paper towel. Then you salt the steak on both sides. Then you put it in like a cupboard or a dry place, and you let it rest for around a couple hours or so. So say if it was 3, I would make dinner at 6. At that time, you can make whatever sides you want for the steak. Then what you do, you take the steak outside of the microwave, you put it in the oven, 5 to 15 minutes at 270. And then you take the steak outside of the oven, put it on a table. Put it on a table. And when you put that steak on the table, you put like whatever butter or olive oil in a cast iron skillet. And you cook the steak with a cast iron skillet. Not a grill, a cast iron skillet. Pretty passionate about that. Dr. Terminator Show. Finally, I'm here. Y'all guys are here as soon as I was planning to leave. Anyways, I'm continuing with the steak recipe. You put it on a cast iron skillet and you sear each side. You sear both sides for around, I say, 45 seconds. That's what I say. But man, like maybe a minute, maybe. And that's how you get a rare steak. I like my steak black and blue. If you want your steak medium rare or medium well or well, no difference between medium and well. Oh no. But if you want your steak medium, well, you know, if you want a steak that's more, just cook it longer. You just cook the steak longer. So I would say maybe a minute to 2 minutes. That would be how you cook a proper steak. You cook it maybe a minute to 2 minutes. And if you want, yeah, that's how you properly cook the steak. And usually, what I do, I give the steak to the people that, you know, here's another idea. I recommend, here's another thing with steaks. You do not need to marinate it, but marinating the steak could be good. It's not required. It's not 100% required. Is that Coke? Your Coke. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, and also one thing I forgot to mention for the steak recipe: baste the steak. Baste it with butter or olive oil. I eat steak when you can eat horse meat. Lol. Horse meat here in Nebraska, we don't eat horse meat. We find it rightfully disgusting. Based, B-A-S-E-D, the steak. Lol. John drinks water. The idea, I had a coffee flavored Coke, and the idea is that it would decaffeinate me. Well, it would caffeinate me, and so the idea is that once I'm done with a coffee Coke, I could take a shower and I could go to bed, because usually caffeine has opposite. Yeah, horse meat for me, I don't like the idea of it. Other people can have it though. I hate the idea of bacon. I hate bacon. I cannot stand pork. I hate pork. It is disgusting. It's a stupid excuse for a meat. Ugh. No, thank you. Professor, another letter. Please play some scary, terrible game. Okay, let's start a game. Who can do the best David Wood impersonation? I would like here's a David Wood impersonation. I hate pork. I do. I just, it makes me feel like I had a heart attack. Look, I may not be a Muslim. But, yeah. Muslim Warrior 777. Professor, another letter. Do you know who Muslim Warrior 777 is? He makes Turk look smart. I have a perfect impersonation of him too. I am Muslim Warrior 777. But yeah, anyways, Here's the scary competition. Who could do the best David Wood impersonation? I would like you to say one comment in the live stream. And whichever comment does David Wood the best will get an award. David Wood was banned him. Oh, Muslim Warrior 777 was banned. He needs to be unbanned. The best David Wood impersonation. So, Professor Another Letter, I'd like you to do your David Wood impersonation. Okay, Professor Another Letter. Okay, Professor Another Letter. Do your David Wood. Dr. Terminator's show gets a couple points. Professor Another Letter, what's your impersonation with the comments? Muhammad is a pedophile. Okay, that's your impersonation. I have one. Keep in mind, this is not... keep in mind, Zakir Naik impression is easy. Just claim Muhammad is in the Torah! True, I think that Zakir Naik tried to say that. It's... they said Muhammadin. Maybe. I don't know. But here is parody of David Wood's videos. Islam does a great job convincing people that they are a legitimate religion filled with good people, but they are not. The Quran is the same religious book that says that puppies and dogs should be punched on sight. Here's an example. In Surah 102,934, verse 7.38, the Quran very clearly states that eating dogs is kind of a bad thing. How? Why would you not want to pet this cute little puppy? Islam wants dogs to be eaten alive and put on a McDonald's Filet-O-Fish. A Filet-O-Fish is not for a dog to be put on. It is only for a cat. Yes, that's right. Cats are haram in Islam. Surah 83.2 verse star clearly states that Donald Trump might be a good leader in Cambodia. Did you know that Donald Trump does not have any cats? That's right. Islam hates kittens and cats. The fact that Islam hates kittens and cats, and everyone is currently taking the Shahada and praying to Allah because Islam is so dominant, is driving me nuts. Here's an argument against it. And here's another argument against Islam. A final one for my final words. Muhammad is 100% a psychopath that wants all non-Muslims in hell. Christianity is saving people from hell by requiring people to believe in it. Which do you want? The end. I want to see Muhammad in the Bible. He is mod. Turk better join. Oh, here's another one. Here's another parody. Hello everyone, and this is David Wood. Islam does a great job of taking over the United States, and even I have to obey Sharia law whenever I want to. So in order to be friendly to Islam, here's a nice picture of Muhammad.